more specifically vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
Sorry, I had to laugh, Karma. I had to laugh at the first thing out the gate. First of all, welcome everybody to another episode of HeyArcher Live. Thanks for being here. I'm late every time. Late every single time because something always goes wrong at the last minute. I think so far you can see me okay. Let me know if I'm out of blur or not. But Karma Cashflow in the house. And of course, yes, we can talk about the Flash today. So yeah, we can talk about the Flash today if you want, and of course, hello to you too. Had a bit of a different kind of intro there. I'm just messing around with the Rodecaster Pro, which I love using. And I also got so when Just Samson shows up, thank you. That is good to hear. I got something for Just Samson as well. But yeah, here on HeyArcher Live, we talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. All things nerdy, non-nerdy, YouTube content creation, all that kind of stuff. And of course, the HeyArcher merch is now for sale. Get your nerd-affiliated shirt, HeyArcher mug, other cool stuff over at HeyArcher.com. I should probably have that in there at some point. Oh, what is up, Rhino Dog? Good to see you. Good to see you too. Oh, the MVPs are in the house. The MVPs are in the house. Aaron Waller is in the house. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, another week of quarantine. It's the never-ending quarantine, it seems like. So to all of you, I say cheers, of course. And welcome to the show. So, out the gate, I will say that I've been trying something different. A couple of you in the chat here. Of course, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new here. But a couple of you in the chat are from the Income Stream with Pat Flynn, where every day we wake up, and it kind of feels it's almost brought a sense of like normalcy to everything. Because part of my day is actually, as I'm working, 11 o'clock, turn on Pat Flynn, talk to all of you in the chat, and it's like we're coworkers now. So I actually sent Pat a DM the other day, and I was saying that it's going to be weird when things go back to normal, like not having that as part of like the normal everyday thing. So in the chat, let me know what kind of things you've been doing on an everyday basis to keep things normal for yourself. But after being in the Income Stream and learning so much, one of the things that Pat was pointing out was, one, doing intros to videos. So I've been trying that with all my videos this week. And I actually, Joe Rogan came up a bunch of times, and I was like, oh, I can do more clips of the shows I'm doing, the longer form shows. So let me know if any of you have been doing that with your channels. But what I started doing was I did an episode of Rambling 2 days ago, which is up on the channel, of course. And out of Rambling, I pulled out 2 different segments to do 2 other videos that have already released this week. So if you want the long form of stuff, you can watch Rambling. But if you wanted the 2-minute review of Stargirl, I did it in Rambling, but then extracted it as its own video. So you can watch that on its own. And if you wanted my thoughts on, or our thoughts, myself and Anthony, our thoughts on what the next Star Wars show should be, we talked about that in Rambling, but then I extracted that and made its own video. So out of one video, I made 3. And I was kind of, again, trying it out, see how it works, kind of copying Pat's format of, doing a show and then making it so there's segments of that show that can live on their own. So let me know if any of you have tried that at all. We'll jump back in the chat there. Karma, I'm drinking, what is it? Oh, Basil Hayden. I'm doing Basil Hayden today on the rocks. It's my one of my favorites. it's like a celebratory type thing. I like Basil Hayden for that. But I am a whiskey bourbon guy. If there are any other whiskey bourbon drinkers in the house, of course. And let's see. Oh, April in the house. Good to see you, April. Welcome. Those of you who have not checked out April's channel, you should. She does wonderful live chats. You do probably like 4 or 5 a week now, I've seen. Unless I'm exaggerating, but it's definitely more than 2. I want to say you've gone live probably like an average of 4 times a week. And Rachel has a channel for parents that have young ones that may have, I don't know if you specify just in autism, but it's like kids with special needs. And I personally, I don't even have kids, and I find it motivating to be in the live chat, interact, because you just talk about just overall like coming together and everybody kind of looking to each other for help, and you kind of open like a forum for just discussion, which is nice. So I definitely mimic that. I tried to mimic that here, and I think you're doing great stuff over there. So those of you with kids, those of you without kids, check out April's channel for sure. Let's see. I'm beginning to feel a little nutty, ain't gonna lie. That's funny. And Karma says, on uploaded videos, you should kill any actual video intros. On upload. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. But not, so, because I was trying to do that whole, like, you know, in the first 20 seconds, because that's what he critiqued me on. It was like, the first 20 seconds is where you're supposed to grab somebody. So I was wondering if I should do like that intro where I'm saying in the first 20 seconds, like, what's going to happen here, intro, and then the video. But I'm thinking for the videos that are segments of other shows, so like if I'm doing a segment out of Rambling, maybe I make another intro that's like shorter. So maybe I don't even do the full, like in this video, we're talking about whatever. It's just a shorter intro of HeyArcher, and then it goes right into it. So let me know in the comments what you think about that. But yeah, you're right. It is a bit different on live streams for sure. And of course, Karma giving April a hello there. Also, April does that as well. Video clips taken from long form video. Yeah, something I'm trying. It's it's interesting because it's like you can almost plan out the way I figured it is you can kind of, and sorry for those of you who are not content creators, I'll get to other stuff soon. But actually, if you're even thinking about making content, this is great feedback or great advice here. One of the things I liked about the way I did it this week was I planned out videos I wanted to do, and then was like, oh, I can just record them all at one shot in the same video to extract them versus just doing them individually. So I don't know, something to play around with for sure. Let me know if any of you do that as well. I know April said she does that too. Let's see. There you go. I'm going live tonight, committed to doing a live every day. I love that. That's awesome. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. You are a cheerleader for us. I love that. Let's see. I think I skipped one. There it was. That's a hook, not an intro. They are two different things. Right. So, no, well, I mean, the like the intro music I do on my channel. So, like, I want the hook part. Well, I was doing the hook and then the intro. With the intro has the music, the logo, come at you, and all that stuff. So what I was thinking was I'd have less of an intro and either keep the hook or less of an intro and just get rid of the hook. And it's like the HeyArcher thing pops up and then straight into the video. So that's what I'm toying around with. I know what you mean, though, by like the hook and then the intro being separate. I said the same word twice. So you're right on that. You can also just put the random weird thing you say in the beginning, intro, then regular video. Out of context quotes can be interesting. Yeah. I saw that on, who did that this week? Oh, Joey Diaz. I turned on, so I haven't been watching too many like comedians do podcasting, because I kind of screwed up and started watching people roast those comedians. So I've like kind of lost interest, but, Joey Diaz on his channel. Now he has a separate clips channel as well. And the first couple seconds were like random random part of the conversation. And then he did the show. And Aaron, I think you might have done that too, actually, on a video, now that I think about it. I have not watched your Cinematically Late today. So those of you, as far as movie reviews go check out Aaron Waller. He's in the comments here. Check out his channel for sure. He goes in way more in depth on movies, and I love his reviews. I love the way that he views things. So definitely check out his channel. He's doing a new series called Cinematically Late, where every Thursday he releases a movie review of an old movie. So something that he just missed. I forgot the rest of the intro that you normally say on that one, but it's a movie that he missed. And this week he did Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So I'm really interested in that because I just watched that as well. And last week he did Akira, and I loved that review. So cheers to you, Mr. Aaron Waller. All right. Let's see what we got. For anyone who may stumble in and hear, since HeyArcher gave me the plug, you can find me. Yeah, there you go. All right, so it is Autism Moms. All right, I like that. So yeah, definitely check out April's channel. Like I said, you don't even need to have kids to jump into that channel, jump into those live streams, and just relate. So I like that. But quickly, before I keep scrolling down, before I forget, one of the things that's come up a lot is The Flash. So Karma, I know you're in the chat, and The Flash is your jam. So let's talk The Flash real quick. And then if there's something specifically about The Flash you want to talk about, write it down below. April, we might lose you on this one. Heads up. And Aaron also comment on this. So the Flash TV show, the current one on CW, I've not been a fan of as of late. I think for a lot of us, the first season of The Flash was very strong. And then the second season also kind of like kept momentum going. No pun intended on that. But once we got past, all right, there was a speedster, got to figure out who that is. And then there's another speedster, figure out who that is. Once that became every season, that's when they started to lose me. I was intrigued when they brought in Wally West and finally, they had him already, but when they gave him powers, I was intrigued by that aspect of like Barry trying to train Wally to be his replacement. I thought that was pretty cool. And then, of course, once they started doing the Arrow crossovers, I really enjoyed that. And I also liked how Arrow versus Flash was very parallel to Batman versus Superman. As far as cinematically how they shoot it, the content, Flash being more upbeat, more happy, even though there's a dark side to the story. And Arrow just straight up being, it's always dark, always, that kind of thing. So out the gate, I liked Flash a lot. And then it kind of lost me on that. And down below, let me know, all of you watching, listening, what your favorite CW show is, if you're watching them. What's interesting, though, with those shows is they kind of took the more like realistic look on things. That doesn't make sense saying it that way. What's a better way to say it? Like the way that the characters like wore their suits and the way that they were portrayed, it was like they were people. They weren't just like, I can throw you off a building and do whatever. It didn't seem that way, at least in the CW shows. And what's weird is watching Stargirl, and I just released a 2-minute review for that. I watched episode 2. I haven't reviewed that one yet, but with Stargirl, it seems like they're going more with the comic book type stuff, where it's like the characters will dress up just like in the comic books. Even though you're a human, I can still beam you through a freaking car or whatever. So I'm interested to see how they go about that with Stargirl, and if the other shows will start to do that at all. But what I was saying to Karma in an offline chat, and everybody let me know what you think. Flash to me will always be the original TV show like that. And it was cool that he was in this show too, but he's always going to be my favorite Flash because that was probably like my original one. And he also looked like a teacher that worked at my mom's school. So as a kid, I was convinced, like swear under oath as a kid, that this teacher at my mom's school was actually the same guy from The Flash. And I was like, you're just lying. Like, we know who you are. So that was always kind of fun. And of course, Flashpoint is one of my favorite DC animated movies. So going back to the Hook conversation, Karma agrees with Aaron on that, on how to do the potentially like the short like clip and then the intro type stuff. And then Karma followed up with, keep the hook, no intro, no music. Oh, okay. So you don't even do intros anymore in those. Interesting. All right. I'll try that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look at some of the analytics on the videos and see a video without an intro, a video with an intro, if people sit through longer or if people like subscribe more, unsubscribe, that kind of thing. So I'll try that for sure. It is hot down here in this basement, I swear. I did do it recently, and since I say so much random stuff, it's easy for me to pick out a weird intro. That's right. It was in Akira that you did that. You did that. You did that random spot. I remember what it was, but I don't want to ruin it for you. So, yeah, you did that. Let's see. April, I know this is random, but if you have Disney Plus, have you seen a short called Loop? So I don't know. I've not seen that, but April, have you checked that out? I'm not sure. Let's see. All right, here we go. Flash conversation with Karma. Last season was not that great. Plus, it ended at 19 instead of 22. You talked about that on the live stream this week, that you didn't like the fact that it was only 19 episodes. I wonder if even that's too many episodes for a show. Because some of those, I feel like without a lot of the filler, you might be able to like kind of wean it down a bit. So the CW, I think they do too many episodes. I think there's a happy medium between what CW does and what like the Netflix shows did, where the Netflix shows were kind of like, I think 12 to 15. The Defenders show at 6, I think, was a bit short. But I think there's some room there in that 12-ish range. Definitely not the 25 I'm currently doing with Star Trek: The Next Generation. 25 episodes per season. Aaron says, I dropped off watching The Flash after season 3 or 4. That's probably where, that's around where I fell off. Because that's when like his daughter shows up. That's when, what's the dude that was the bad guy in the first one? He comes back from another dimension. I mean, it was cool when everybody else was starting to get powers, like when the girl becomes Frost, when Vibe shows up, that kind of thing. But, let's see. The same episode formula of The Flash got really old for me. Yeah, so that's where I was too. So let's see. April says, to the Loop question, no, I didn't see Loop, but I did see a Disney short called Float, and I bawled like a baby. All right, I got to see what these are. JWS is The Flash in my heart. Yeah, isn't it like Jonathan? Oh, God, I can't think of the name. It's Jonathan something. Let's see here. Aaron says, April is from the same set of shorts, but the girl is autistic. Just watched all the shorts yesterday. Would be curious to see what you thought on that. All right, that's cool, yeah. That's right. Aaron's sending you, Aaron's sending you to the dark web to pirate Disney stuff. By the way, if you're new here, like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, HeyArcher as a show, HeyArcher as a brand is, I always say it's yours. It's not mine. So this show, the HeyArcher live show, I want you guys to direct the show. So, by throwing by contributing to the conversation in the chat, those are the topics that we generally cover. Now, I did put out there on Instagram, which I do every week before the show. I put out there, if you guys had any questions or topics you want me to cover. One that came back was, have I played Star Wars Battlefront 2? And did I know it was going to be free for the month of June? I have not played it. I also do not have a PSN code because I have not paid for an online video game subscription in a long time. I actually, to end on the Star Wars part, I loved the original Battlefront games. That's like a cliche thing to say, but I did. I loved the original Battlefront games. I remember on Xbox, I don't know, 360 maybe, it was the coolest thing ever to have when they announced that like you can fight on like Endor and then jump in an X-Wing, fly into space, go into a spaceship, and then fight there. Like I thought that was cool. I did not get into the new Battlefront games, but I was interested in the story, so I did watch the cinematics of that game. I do that from time to time. But I was actually one of the original, for any youngsters watching this show, I was actually one of the original beta testers for Xbox Live. This was post Dreamcast. I think Dreamcast was on its way out at that point. And Xbox announced that they were doing their own online video game playing. And I remember waiting for DHL to bring the package. There was no like high-speed internet, so I wasn't like tracking the package that well. I just knew DHL had it. I didn't even know DHL was a company. And I remember just waiting for this package from Microsoft. And it arrives. I open up the box, and it was there was this like memory cards. Well, remember, I don't know if you guys remember, on the Dreamcast, the memory cards used to be like a block. And for Xbox, the microphone plugged into a block, and it went in the controller, and you plugged the headset into that. It was all wired. There's no wireless. You plug into that, and those were like your mic controls. And then it had the And then it had the code in there to go and sign up for Xbox Live. So that was a lot of fun. Let's see. Shows. Something I've been experimenting with lately is doing shows like news segments, taking current events in my niche and breaking it down with my own perspective. I like that idea. That's actually a pretty good idea for even like this show. Maybe I'll do that. Like I'll take segments of nerd culture and interlay them in here. That might be fun. Let's see. Karma Cash Flow. Yeah, maybe you're right. Do 12 episodes, make them insanely intense and have a lot of impact. Yeah, that's where I'm kind of leaning with it. I just want more like substance out of the episodes. Like having, you know what it is with the live action shows. It's not like the cartoons, right? Like the cartoons, you can do an episode where Batman's fighting Ra's al Ghul today. Tomorrow he's fighting Clayface. The day after that he's fighting Penguin. Whatever. There's no strain on production costs, nothing like that. Like it's all pretty much the same. When you're doing it with these live action shows, you know, you do an episode of Flash fighting King Shark. Like it's cool that he's fighting King Shark, but they do it in a way where it's like wasting an episode to have King Shark, and the graphics aren't even that good. Because then they'll also take the same money and try to do an episode with Gorilla Grodd. And it's like, you'll have him in there. Doesn't really do much for the season. It's just cool to see it. And now the other episodes suffer financially because of those. So I think that's where it really, really comes down to. John Wesley Ship. That's it. You're correct. You are correct. I'm always laughing at his Instagram post, actually, or a Twitter post. He's very, very vocal on there. But I'm curious if anybody else is watching any new shows on Netflix or Disney or any of that. And I'm very interested if anybody here, by the way, if you're new into the chat or new into the video, leave a thumbs up, of course, and subscribe. Might as well subscribe since you're here. I'm curious if anybody has purchase HBO Max and if they're enjoying that, because they haven't started original programming yet on HBO Max, but they will at some point. But at the moment, they have a lot of content. They have like Looney Tunes on there. They have all the Warner Brothers stuff. They have all the DC stuff. So I'm curious to see if anybody has HBO Max and if they're really, really enjoying it. At the moment, the new show I'm watching is Stargirl. That is on like 5 million apps, it seems like. You have it on the DC universe as like a limited time they're doing, like the first like 2 or 3 episodes. And then I think it might also be going to HBO Max right after that. And then it's also going to be on the CW app, but it's not on there yet, I don't think. So DC is very, very confused on how all of that works. But I talked about that in the Rambling episode with Anthony, so make sure to check that out, of course. And then lastly, Snyder Cut type stuff. I wanted to cover that as well. So let me know if any of you are going to be watching the Justice League Snyder Cut 4 hours on HBO Max. Or if you even know what that is. But what this has done is it's created, actually Sonic created the snowball effect. So Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie was supposed to come out last year, and it came out beginning of this year instead. And that was because they had, the design was not to the fans' liking. And people were like destroying the design, like this design of Sonic is terrible, blah, blah, blah. So the people who made the movie were like, all right, we'll redesign Sonic and then release the movie. So they did that, and the movie actually killed it as far as box office goes. So after years and years and years of complaining, a lot of the hardcore DC fans, like myself, were like, hey, Justice League, the movie was terrible. We need the Zack Snyder version of it. Not saying that Zack Snyder made awesome movies before that, but we want the Zack Snyder version of the movie. Finally, Warner Brothers and DC listened to it and say they are going to release the Snyder Cut of the movie. Because of that, now people are like, hey, I want other versions of movies that didn't come out. Like, I want the versions of the movies that were left on the cutting room floor. So, people want, like, the original version of Suicide Squad. People, my favorite one so far is people want the version of Cats where they didn't, and cover the kids' ears if the kids around here. People want the version of Cats where they don't take out the butts of the cats. Apparently they did that in the movie, in the final like segments of editing. But people now want like alternate versions of the movies, which has happened for a long time, but in like smaller forms, like the director's cut of whatever. But usually that's the director's cut of the person who still released the movie. Now people straight up want the alternate versions of the movies that had multiple directors to see which one was better. And I think it actually might be pretty good. I'm actually curious, and I think studios. I mean, if I was a studio mogul and like controlling all of it, that's an easy double dip. I'll release one movie with the original director's version, pay them. I'll release the same movie again with the new director, and I get paid off that. So I don't know. I'm curious now about the other version of Suicide Squad, but I don't know if any of that makes sense to any of you. Like, let me know what version of a movie you want the alternate of. I think that'd be interesting. April wrote, I'm either working, parenting, live streaming, or watching Pat Flynn. Ain't nobody got time for TV, let alone HBO. That is correct. Yeah, I've actually, that's funny. The only TV show watching I get in these days is if I am editing a video and it's like on in the background. So yeah, if I had another responsibility, I probably wouldn't get any HBO in. So April, I feel you on that one. For sure. Karma says, only thing I've been watching lately is going through Death Note. And you're an anime guy, Karma? I didn't know that. I did not know that about you. I knew you were a jiu-jitsu guy, but I don't take a lot of jiu-jitsu guys as anime fans. Like, I have a friend Mike who is, but not everybody. So wow, that's wow, I am surprised. We have Anthony stopped in the house. Of course, I come in when you're talking about the Snyder Cut. You know it. Whoa, who is this in the house?
What?
Is it just Samson?
What?
Just Samson?
What?
I think it's just Samson.
What?
Just Samson's in the house. Just Samson. I added that just for you, but I also wanted to tell you what I was drinking today, just Samson.
Idiot!
Oh, it's the wrong one. Which one did I do it? Which one did I switch it for? That one.
More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
Huh? What? What?
That one
Huh?
was just for you, Samson. I added that one in the bonus rounds. And, of course, Steven's here. After I answered your question, Steve,
Huh? What? What? Huh?
about that game,
Huh? What? What? Huh?
Battlefront.
Huh? What? What? Huh?
I don't know. I'm having too much fun with the soundboard today.
Huh? What? What? Huh?
Welcome, guys. Yeah, leave a thumbs up, of course, if you're new in the stream. Steve, long story short, on your Battlefront answer, I gave it earlier. I'm not playing the new one. I loved the original ones, and I didn't know that it was free this weekend. I don't have a PSN login because I haven't paid for an online video game service in forever. I was an original tester of Xbox Live. I always take pride in that. But maybe I'll check it out this weekend because apparently Battlefront became a good game over time. I know.
Huh? What? What? Huh?
Let's see. No, that would be bad. Just stop meddling. Oh, you're talking about the directing thing. Yeah. And Karma loves anime. Wow. That is crazy. That is crazy. I don't take that. Karma, what is your favorite anime? If you have one, put it down there. Unless Death Note is that. And I think I know the answer to this question. Let me know what you thought about the Death Note movie. I'm very, very curious. I'll let you know what I thought about the movie. Just off the jump.
Boo! Boo! Rubbish! Filth! Slime! Muck! Boo! Boo! Boo!
That's what I thought about that movie. Anthony, all right, so I have labels, actually, for the soundboard. I finally made them. But thanks to Just Samson.
Huh? What? What? Huh?
Just Samson.
Huh? What? What? Huh?
I haven't had a chance to change the two labels on there. So that's what the guess was. Because I changed it all for Just Samson.
Huh? What? What? Huh?
Aaron says, I have only recently gotten more into anime in the last year or so. What show are you watching, Aaron? I didn't know you were watching anime. Well, you watched and reviewed Akira, so let me know what you thought about that. I mean, Akira is freaking amazing. We have, more viewers have dropped in. So, hey, leave a thumbs up. Welcome to HeyArcher Live. This is usually a nerdy show, but I always say HeyArcher as a whole is your show. So in the comment section, interact with each other, and it's through your comments that we direct where this entire show goes. So thank you, everybody, for showing up. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And, of course, Just Samson.
Huh? What? What?
I said Just
Huh?
Samson.
Huh? What? What?
He wants
Huh?
more what in the house?
Huh? What? What? Huh?
Don't even. Yeah, it's crazy. You know, it's funny. I didn't have high hopes for that movie because I wasn't the biggest fan of the anime. Not that I didn't like it. I just didn't watch it all the way through. But after watching the Full Metal Alchemist movie, I was like, I've got no hope for any of this. None. And I think, didn't they release a any anime heads in the chat? Let me know. I think they released the Attack on Titan anime, and I don't think that did very well, if I remember. So, live action animes as far as they go. And that's actually, Aaron, to your to the point in your Cinematically Late, which you guys should all watch. I don't want a live action Akira because there's no way they can pull it off. And you actually, I think you mentioned that there's no way they can pull it off. So, yeah, those of you who are new, leave a thumbs up, subscribe. Welcome. Yeah, I don't want shitty theatrical release and then hope for an unedited streaming version. If they do this to fix what they fucked up, cool. Yeah, I get it. I mean, like I said, the Justice League that came out after the fact, we talked about this where we think it's a better movie, but yeah, most people aren't clamoring to watch a 4-hour freaking movie on it. Just Samson, what'd you say?
Huh? What? What? Huh?
What's your name?
Huh? What? What? Huh?
The wackest thing about HBO Max is it doesn't offer any 4K content.
Boo!
Wow.
Boo! Rubbish! Filth! Slime! Muck! Boo! Boo! Boo!
I didn't even know that until just now. That sucks. The high price for no 4K. Yeah, it's the highest. It's probably the most expensive streaming service, I think. Unless you count the bundle of Disney, ESPN, National Geographic, and Hulu. But you're getting 4 for the price of, what, $12 or $15? something like that. So that is news to me. That thing probably changed the 4K. Yeah, because it did. It took even iTunes a while. Like iTunes was 1080p for years, and then when they went to 4K, they just upgraded your version of the movie. So I think they could fix that at some point. Yeah, it's like $15. I'm pretty sure. And what's this guy's name again?
Huh? What? Huh?
What does he keep saying in here?
Huh? What? Huh?
All right, Death Note, One Punch Man, Full Metal. Yeah, Brotherhood's my favorite by far. That's my next tattoo. Like, I only have one tattoo now, which from this angle looks like a... Somebody said it. Somebody one day saw my tattoo, and they were like, "Oh, you love Death Note. You love Oh shoot, what is it? What is that DJ's name? Dead Mouse? Yeah, they're like, you love Dead Mouse because that's what that is. And now I see it. Even now, as I look in the video, I see a Dead Mouse thing. It's actually a Led Zeppelin tattoo, but. My next tattoo, I want to be a Full Metal Alchemist tattoo because I think being circular in design, if I make an alchemist symbol, it will match that one. Mob Psycho 100. Yes. So if you go and watch my HeyArcher episode with Nerdy Money, my friend Danny, he's going to be starting a financial channel that also is a nerdy based one. He was telling me about that. Mob Psycho 100. So was two other people I've had on the show. Gerby, funny name Gerby, mentioned that show. And Nerds in Hip Hop also mentioned that show. So I got to watch that. But yeah, I've watched One Punch Man. And yeah, Full Metal Alchemist is by far my favorite. Aaron says, I have not watched the Full Metal Alchemist live action, but wanted to. I know it won't be good as the anime, but want to try. Yeah. Yeah. And Steven agrees with that one. You know what it is with that? The problem with those live action animes is they get it in their mind that they can take, 15 episodes, 25 episodes of a story and knock it down to 2 hours or actually under 2 hours. And there's just no way to do that. So I'm not sure who gave them that idea, but to that person.
Boo! Rubbish! Filth! Slime! Muck! Boo! Boo! Boo!
Huh? What?
What's his name?
What? Huh? Huh?
What'd he say?
What? Huh?
Who are you talking about?
Huh? What? Huh?
Yeah.
Huh? What?
Yeah.
Huh?
Dead Mouse. I see it right now. Like I'm looking at this. I'm looking at how it looks. It looks like Dead Mouse. And now I'm wondering if that tattoo artist, when I gave him the picture, if he saw Dead Mouse in there and was like, I'm going to make it look even more Dead Mouse-y-ish and see what happens. Oh, man. Asking what is good there. And April says, dinner just about to be yum. Cheating on my diet with some mac and cheese, and I don't even feel guilty. Don't feel guilty about that. You eat that mac and cheese. There are no diets in quarantine. Eat all the mac and cheese you want, and you know what? Even on top of the mac and cheese, you can pour yourself.
More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
Just do all that stuff. Aaron Waller says, I did love my hero. I think that would have been some possibility to be live action, and with the current superhero climate, might be okay, maybe. I just don't trust them. And that's, it's funny. That's what Anthony and I were talking about, where Anthony, if you're still in the chat, by the way, feel free to chime in. On the Rambling with Anthony episode 8 that just came out, we're talking about shows that we wanted to see on HBO Max. And all the shows that Anthony mentioned, well, most of the shows that Anthony mentioned have already come out in some way, shape, or form. And that's where he and I differ, but he understands. He's like, he has faith these shows can be good given the right budget, but I just no longer trust them to do the shows right. And when it comes to a live action anime, I just can't. I just don't trust them to do that. Especially My Hero, because that one, I mean, I think the only way to do a show like that, like you need was it Stephen Chow, the guy who did Kung Fu Hustle and Shanghai Soccer? I want to say Shaolin Soccer. Because whoever did those graphics way back then could do live action anime stuff now. Maybe they are involved in it now, but the writing, they have to understand you can't do a season of a show in a 2-hour movie. It's just not going to happen. What were you saying over there?
Huh? What? Huh?
What was it?
Huh? What?
Curious about my diet.
More specifically, vodka, whiskey.
That's pretty much it, actually. And Steve, I am watching The Last Airbender for the first time. I know. Yeah, I still have not watched it. I know.
Huh? What? Huh?
I really have to watch Last Airbender. I really do have to watch that. Let's see. April says, I do have vodka here. Don't tempt me. I know. What was the rap lyric? I just had it in my head. Something, don't tempt me. You're going to push me, don't tempt me. So I'm like, man, it left my head. All right, we'll go another like 2 minutes. We'll get to a nice even 45 minutes on here. By the way, this has been fun. I tell you, the HeyArcher live show, I always feel weird saying like my name and live show because it's not, like I said, it's not my show, it's your show. So whatever you guys are talking about in the comment section, whatever all of you want to discuss, that's what the topic of the show is. So I hope that it's interactive for all of you. I hope that you feel like you're part of the show. And once again, I have no shame in any of my plugs, but the HeyArcher merch store is open. So if you don't feel you're nerdy enough to be part of the conversation, that means you're nerd affiliated. And of course, your HeyArcher mug, the HeyArcher shirt, Dreamer shirt, stickers, all of that are in the store. Actually, where did I put that? Oh, there it is. 1 second. I dropped it. Rested on here without breaking anything. So I'm like a sucker for stickers, and back home in New York, I used to longboard all the time, and part of like the longboarding like skateboard culture was stickers. So your helmet almost became like a representation of what you do. So one of the things that this helmet has on it is just years and years of stickers of like all sorts of various things on there. Got yourself a little Goku on there. But I'm curious if anybody else has like a sticker, not habit, but like addiction maybe? Like do you just like stickers? Or maybe there's something else that you like really enjoy, like stickers that you're nerdy about? Let me know. Actually, today my internet went out while I was working, and I bought a new bike. That's why the helmet was there. But I bought a new bike, and my internet was out. I couldn't do anything. I was listening to a sales call, and I was like, well, since I'm just listening to the call and I can't do any actual work, I'll just put stickers on my bike. So too much work to show you the bike, but now the bike has a lot of stickers on it. And people would be pissed, I'm pretty sure, if they saw that. See?
Huh? What?
His name
Huh? What?
of just Samson is telling you to do it. Let's see. April says, I might even get crazy, go all out on ice cream and chocolate syrup for dessert. Yeah, why not? By the way, you should try they sell like an root beer liqueur that you can make root beer float. You can make an alcoholic root beer float using that liqueur. We used to do that actually in college. So if you ever want to mix that up, just got a Carvel chocolate shake. Diet Who? That's right. That is right. Yeah, Anthony, you can't say stuff like that and then not offer it to everybody else in the chat. That's just not right. Question of the day. What is worse, live action anime or live action video game movies? Wow. That is a good one. It's a good one. As I think about that, I'm just going to show some of the chats Steven and April talking about the ice cream, of course. What is worse, live action anime or live action video game? I guess. All right. So, are we talking track record based or in? I think it's harder. I guess that's the only way for me to phrase it. It's harder to do a live action video game because video games can have a story of like 40 or 50 hours. So I think if anything, it's going to be harder to make a live action video game adaptation. So those probably suck. Those tend to suck more than the live action anime. But the anime ones, I think the reason that those suck on a whole nother level is they try to adapt things that like you can't do that with. So I don't know. It's tough. That's a tough one. All right, we'll go another minute. Thanks again, everybody, for being here, interacting with each other on the chat. By the way, a lot of people in the chat have their own YouTube channels, their own IGs. Plug yourself. Like in the chat, plug your shit. Like if you have an Instagram, you want people to check you out, put it in the chat. If you have a website, you have a YouTube channel, put it in the chat. I want all of you to like build each other here. And of course, leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not done that so far. Yep, lack of interface, budget. All right, we'll go with maybe one more. Call it the HeyArcher show. Luke Combs. From the Bronx and eventually moved to Harlem. Oh, you're born in Brooklyn. All right, Brooklyn girl. Whoa, look at that. Eric in the house. I said Eric's in the house. I said his name is Eric, goddammit. Let's see. Worse. Who says live action video games are bad? Mortal Kombat is triumphed. That's a really good point. Aaron agrees with that. Was there a better... Oh, man. All right. You know what? There you go. You know what? Plug your shit. That's true. Yeah. What's his name? Just Samson. But yeah, Eric, that was mic drop. I'm sad that you only commented. I'm sad you only commented just now. But that was a mic drop because Mortal Kombat is the best video game adaptation, and I can't think of a single anime adaptation that comes even remotely close to Mortal Kombat. So once again, you know what, Eric? To celebrate your win tonight, I think you should really drink.
More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, more beer, more vodka, more whiskey, and more beer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And we'll end the show on that, Eric, with the mic drop in there. Thank all of you for stopping by. Thank you for interacting. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for the subscribes, of course. HeyArcher Live every week. Thursdays, currently during the quarantine. Maybe after that it'll change. But subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notified when they come out. And I'll talk to all you nerds in the next video.